Have you ever wanted to know how business owners are generating massive amounts of wealth and paying no taxes? Well, today I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly the one thing that every business owner utilizes to pay no taxes for decades and generate enormous amounts of wealth. If we hadn't had a chance to meet, my name is Luke Turner. I am the co-founder of Moment Private Wealth, where we help athletes and entrepreneurs make smarter financial decisions. Today's video, we're going to be talking about how business owners are able to generate massive amounts of wealth and are able to do it by paying little to no taxes along the way. So let's go ahead and dive into today's topic. And we're going to keep it short and sweet today. Number one thing, and we're only going to talk about one thing, and it is something called unrealized capital gains. So when we look at business owners, the one superpower that they have is that as their business continues to grow, the enterprise value of that business doesn't get taxed every single year. So let's break this down into two types of income. Income over here is going to be our ordinary income, and then over here on the right is going to be our capital gains. Ordinary income is going to be income that gets generated from a business, from a job, if you have a paycheck. If you look at that, you're going to pay taxes along the way. Every single year, the government's going to look at how much income you made, whether that's from a business or from a job, and then you're going to have to pay taxes on it. That is what 99% of Americans do, but business owners have this superpower called enterprise value. Enterprise value is the actual value of the business. Okay, so when you think about most business owners, the one thing that they have on their balance sheet that normally makes up 90+% of their balance sheet is the ownership in their business. So as their business continues to grow, the value of the business continues to increase. That never gets taxed until they actually sell the business. So if that's ordinary income, the other side of the table is capital gains. And we look at capital gains taxes, the only way you actually pay capital gains taxes is when something gets sold or realized. Okay, so when you think about a business, as a business continues to grow, the value of that business continues to grow over time. But you don't pay taxes on the increase of the value of the business. The business starts on day one, it's worth $0. 2 years later, it's worth $2 million. 5 years later, it's worth $10 million. 20 years later, it's worth $50 million. You don't pay $1 in taxes, 0% in taxes, as there is that increase in value in your business. The only time it's going to get taxed is when you actually realize those capital gains. So that capital asset's increased over time, but again, you pay no taxes to actually sell the business. So when you think about business owners, that's their one superpower, because their most valuable asset is their business, and they're not going to pay any taxes on the growth of that business over their entire time frame until they actually sell it. And it gets even better. When they sell it, they have to pay capital gains tax rates. Why is that so important? Because capital gains tax rates, the top tax bracket is 20%. Whereas if we look at ordinary income, which we talked about a minute ago, the top tax bracket is 37%. So paying about 50% less in taxes when they actually sell that business as well. And along the way, they've had to pay no taxes. So why does paying no taxes along the way make a huge difference? Well, it goes back to that one basic financial principle, which is compounding. Okay, when we think about compounding, the biggest benefit of compounding is that once you get that snowball going, you're able to continue letting it multiply over time. $1 turns into $2, 2 turns into 4, 4 turns into 8, 8 turns into 36, and so on and so forth. But the bigger those numbers get, the more powerful compounding is. So not paying any taxes along the way makes a huge difference. So if you've been looking around, you've been thinking about starting a business, this is one thing that I would definitely consider as you're looking at starting a business, because this is the one thing that business owners have that no one else has. It's that one superpower that you can have too. If you want to learn more about being a business owner, want to learn more about ways to be smart with your money, please subscribe to the channel below. We're going to be putting out more and more content just like this. Hope you have a great day.